Hello everyone, and today we are going to look at getting into PC gaming, our PC gaming basics that we're going to cover today. And today we are going to go over how to install and update graphics drivers. Now, graphics card is, of course, if you're PC gaming, the most important element of your gaming PC. Of course, it is the thing that drives the visuals of PC games. And of course, driver updates are what a driver is it is the sort of software that tells your operating system A, what the device is, and B, how to use the device. It's going to tell Windows that it's a display device, and it's going to tell it how to use it. It also has to communicate with the game engine. Very, very important. And again, any features that the game engine has to access from the graphics card is going to go through the driver. The driver is like a middleman in between the sort of OS and the hardware. And again, of course, you've got your game engine that comes as well on top of the OS as well. So again, it can make a difference to our gaming performance. So the first thing we're going to take a look at is which graphics card do we have and how to identify which graphics card we have. Now, if you're installing this for the first time, if you're installing a graphics card for the first time, it probably, Windows might identify it, or it might just have a generic display device. So you should know what your graphics card is. Basically, you get a driver CD with your graphics card, but again, most people don't have optical drives. So we're going to assume that we don't have optical drives on our PC anymore, and generally those driver disks are kind of worthless because they're well out of date. So the first thing we're going to have to do is go to control panel here. We're going to go to system and security, and we're going to go to system. So basically make sure your view by category is a good thing. System and security. And we are going to go to system. Now, there's two things that we need to know here. Number one is which type of operating system do we have? I've got Windows 10, and it is a 64-bit operating system. We're going to need to take a note of that. Most gaming PCs will always be 64-bit, but just make sure that you've got a note of that, really. The clue is how much RAM you have. If you've got more than 4 gigabytes of RAM, generally it's going to be a 64-bit operating system. And so we're going to go here to device manager right here, and we are looking for display adapters. And you see here we have the Nvidia GeForce GTX 1070. Now, sometimes if you install this for the first time, it may just say Windows display adapter. Okay, that means you don't have any driver installed right now, but that is really what we're after. That's how we find our graphics card here. You can hit properties and it'll tell you a bit about it. What it will tell you here is if it just says generic Windows display driver, then you don't have any drivers installed. However, when I installed this graphics card, it recognized it right away as a GTX 1070. So I don't know, maybe Windows 10 can at least recognize it, but generally it won't have graphics hardware. Sometimes it may have generic. So if you installed your graphics card for the first time, you'll know that it's an Nvidia or an AMD card. So what you're going to do is make a note of the model number. Again, the model number will be on the box if you installed it. If you're not unsure of the model number, if you bought a pre-built PC, it should have the drivers installed, so you shouldn't have to worry about identifying it. But updating the drivers is fairly easy. So we took a note of our 64-bit OS, and we took a note of our graphics card at the moment. We'll put that recorder thing away, and we're going to go... So we know we've got an Nvidia GPU, so we're going to go to nvidia.com. And we will get, this is obviously the website for Nvidia. So we're going to go to drivers. So it's going to go to support. Normally it's support, but they do have a driver. We know we've got a GeForce graphics card, GeForce GTX 1070. So I guess we're going to hit GeForce drivers. Now, you can have auto detect your GPU. Sometimes this doesn't work though. Let's see if it works this time. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Really, but this is for a sort of new driver install. Please wait while we check your system for Nvidia products. Let's see if it finds our GPU. See, these things are temperamental. Yeah, it's taking them forever. It's taking forever. There you, Java required. Ah, well. Nah, I'm not going to install Java. Can't be bothered installing Java. You can download the automatic GeForce Experience, which is a good method of doing that as well. I have the GeForce Experience installed. Again, you do need to log in for that as well. But if you ever need to look manually, what we want is GeForce. We have a GeForce 10 series. Ours is not a notebook. We don't have a Titan XP. We have a GTX 1070. We are running, bear in mind, their operating system. We are running Windows 10 64-bit. Just bear that in mind, and you can start your search, and it'll search. There it is. It has all the sort of latest one. You're gonna pick the latest one, which is 385.69, which was the 21st of September 2017. I am recording this on the 22nd of September, so it came out yesterday basically, so that is the most up-to-date one. The GeForce Experience, which we are going to show you right now, which is useful for updating your graphics card. I've got the icon on my desktop, so we're just going to fire up the GeForce Experience. You do need an account for the GeForce Experience. You do have to log into it. A lot of people didn't like that when it first came out. So this is your game optimization. One thing I will say for the GeForce Experience is it's pretty decent if you want to know what graphical settings do what. Like if you don't know what anti-aliasing does, it gives you that little screenshot there which shows you what anti-aliasing does. It shows you what the effects quality does. This is Quantum Break that we're looking at, obviously. Shows you what geometry does. So if you're unsure about what shadow resolution is, or shadow filtering, or volumetric lighting, if you're unsure what kind of impact it has, this is a nice little visual representation of that. Of course, you can launch the game from here. This is game is optimized. It will also tell you, if you look at your settings here, tells you a little bit about it. I have driver version 385.41, so we need an update. What I do is I let it notify me whenever there's a GeForce driver update available. I think I have that checked, and I get it automatically download and let me choose when to install as well here. So we just go to drivers, and we'll see here it's already downloaded for us. You can see what the driver has optimizations for. It's Project Cars 2, FIFA 18, Forza 7, Raiders of the Broken Planet, Star Wars Battlefront 2's open beta, Call of Duty World War 2's open beta. So this is the driver. It just has game optimizations for all these games. You'll get that whenever a new game comes out, or whenever a few new games come out, you will generally get a driver update. You can have it checked for updates, which it'll do automatically. You'll see 385.69, the exact same as the website, the exact same release date as the website. So the GeForce Experience is a pretty decent way to update it. I think it is a requirement now. I'm pretty sure it is an actual requirement from Nvidia, but you've got all the sort of, well, Forza 7, Project Cars 2 is out later this week, or in fact next week it comes out. So the easiest way to install is just hit Express installation. And that's it, really. Hit Express. You've got custom installation here, which does come up with the preparation to install. I don't know what it's going to do. The custom installation seems to be taking a while. So you get your prepared to install. Hit Express installation. It installs everything, including the graphics driver. It'll include the 3D vision thing. It'll include the share, Nvidia share, which is the video thing. You've got Ansel, which is for the screenshots, and you do have... Now, I don't know if this will record while installing a graphics driver. I have disabled 3D hardware acceleration while recording, so that we're only recording at 30 FPS. Yeah, because we can't be using the hardware while it's installing the driver. But it seems to be taking an awful while to prepare this. I did hit custom installation, so I don't know. I've never actually hit custom installations, so I don't actually know. There you go. So basically, you could pick graphics driver, which is obviously a requirement. You've got the 3D vision driver as well, which if you don't need it, you don't need it. I just install it. The HDMI audio driver I keep, because sometimes I plug it into HD or HD TV, or plug it into my TV, plug in HDMI in, and I want audio. When I do 4K stuff, I put it in there. 3D Vision controller driver, yeah, you want that. The physics, obviously. You can do a clean installation as well. You can restore all settings to the default and removes any profiles. So if you get anything that's went corrupted, any of your game profiles, you can always tick that. Other than that, I just take everything. So I'm just going to hit Express installation, and we're going to go through the procedure. This is it. It's an ultra complex procedure of hitting this button. And that's us. That is us ready to install. Now, I don't know what effect it'll have on the recording. So what I'll do is I will just wait for this to come back later on, just to see if it cuts out during the recording. So when it finishes, there'll be a cut in the video, but that will be me. So you get like the GeForce Experience with the share thing. The share thing is when you press Alt-Z. I don't know if this will work right now if I hit Alt-Z. While we're installing the driver. No, it didn't. It didn't work. Yeah, because we're accessing the driver to install it. It does need the driver to hit to have the GeForce share experience. Interestingly, we're using what are we using? We're using Cyberlink screen recorder. Is what we're using. But your monitor will flicker and go blank. That's why I'm not sure what will happen when this happens to the recorder. We are using CPU recording rather than GPU encoded, hardware encoded recording for this, just because it takes a while. These things, they do take a while. You get the adverts to scroll through if you want Shadow of War or something like that. But that's generally what the driver update will do. It will improve. So it's uninstalling. You'll see here, uninstalling the current 3D Vision driver, uninstall the graphics driver. There we go. Right. So it did cut the recording, which is nice. It said it was saved though, so that was good. That was good. It did actually cut out the recording when it uninstalled the previous graphics driver, and it's now uninstalling the new one. So we're still recording, at least, hopefully. Are we still recording? Yes, we are. Good stuff. So that was good there, that it you kind of expected that to do so. But there you go. It will just go through the installation process. Incidentally, if you do have an AMD system, I will do a separate one, because I've got my the Dream Machine needs a graphics update as well, so we'll go through the procedure with that as well. It is fairly similar on AMD. It uses the AMD Crimson software instead of GeForce Experience, but right, so if everything went well, we had a lot of recordings cutting out there, but if everything went well, you should see this big tick, installation complete, and that's it with Nvidia. No need for a restart. That's it. There we go. We've got GeForce Game Ready driver 385.69 released yesterday, and we can see here again driver version 385.69. that is the latest driver that we have. We can again, and that's us. That's it. That is everything you had to do to install an Nvidia driver. I don't know if the AMD ones still require a restart, but then again, just press restart or restart the computer and there's no real issues, and that's us. That is the ultra complex procedure of installing a driver. I will show you how to install integrated GPUs, how to find your iGPU, and we'll do APUs as well if you have an AMD APU as well, but we'll do AMD next. But anyway, that is all for this video, so thank you for joining me, and we'll see you again soon, and goodbye.